Hello, my name's John Price, and this video is about bridge bidding, made easy for the opener, and it's aimed at intermediate bridge players. What are the duties of the opener? Firstly, the opener has a duty to describe their hand, and they should do it in just 2 bids, or in some cases, they can do it in 1 bid only. And they'll do that using the partnership's bidding system. In this video, that system will be the ACOL bidding system. When the opener has made those 2 bids, then it's the duty of the opener to shut up and wait to hear the responder's decision on the final contract. That's a hard one to take. You've got a good hand as an opener, and you're hoping you're going to be playing the contract as well. But you just get a little bit greedy, don't you? You want it all. You want to open, you want to play the contract, and you want to decide the contract. But all the information is with your partner, the responder. So leave it with the responder to make that right decision. Yes, I repeat, it's not the opener's duty to decide the final contract. Now, sometimes the responder may decide to give the opener a choice between 2 possible final contracts. The responder just doesn't have quite enough information, but you're only going to get a choice between 2 final contracts, so don't treat this privilege lightly. You are not being given the overall decision, but you're involved with the decision making a little bit. And it's certainly not the opener's duty to get into some sort of conversation with the responder, and you're not going to come to a joint decision on the contract. Now, just a quick reminder of the ACOL bidding system. And first, let's look at balanced hands. A balanced hand has no singletons or voids and has at most 1 doubleton. Now, with all of that, if you've also got 12 to 14 points, then you bid 1 no trump, and that's it. That's your 1 bid. You're going to bid 1 no trump and then shut up. I say that you've got 12 to 14 points. Points can be made up of a number of things. I'm sure you all know about high card points, but there are points for length as well. If you've got 5 of a suit, you can give yourself 1 extra for that extra length. With a 6 card suit, give yourself 2 extra. So you could actually make up 12 points with, say, 10 high card points and 2 for length. But don't do that with no trumps. Don't do it with balanced hands. If it says there 12 to 14 points, that's with a minimum of 12 high card points. The same is true about 15 to 17 points. You must have at least 15 high card points. But if it's in that range 15 to 17, then ACOL says this is what you do. You bid a suit. It'll be your longest suit or one of your longest suits. And then your second bid will be no trumps, but bid it at the lowest level you can. 18 to 19, you bid again the suit, but this time your second bid will be no trumps, but at a jump level to make your partner sit up and realize you've got 18 to 19 points. If you've got 20 to 22 points, then you can open 2 no trumps, but if you do, then you shut up and let your partner decide the contract. Or if you're playing some of the fancy conventions, perhaps transfers, or perhaps the Stayman convention, then you can do that. But all you're doing is responding to the responder who has decided to use that convention. You would normally decide 2 no trumps and then leave it to your partner. If you've got 23 points or more, then you can open 2 clubs, the big one for Akol, and then your next bid will be no trumps at the lowest level. Gosh, that's pretty good. In 2 bids, your hand is described, its shape, and its point count within a narrow band of at maximum 3 points. So that is a great system. If your hand is not balanced, if you have an unbalanced hand, if you're unsure, then look at the length of your 2 longest suits. If that adds up to 9 or more, you have an unbalanced hand. You might have 5 of one suit and 4 of another, then that is an unbalanced hand. If you have 4 of one and 4 of another of your 2 longest suits, then I tell you now, you've got a balanced hand, and you should be looking at the previous slide to decide what to bid. So if you've got 12 to 14 points, let's discuss that again. This time, because shape is very important, then I think you are allowed to have as low as 10 high card points and still have 12 points to bid. So not quite as strict as the balanced hands, but 12 to 14, you bid your longest suit, and then there are 2 possibilities for your second bid. It could be preferably a new suit if it's below the barrier. Now, what does that mean? Well, this barrier is all about the first bid. Whatever your longest suit is, you bid it. Let's say perhaps it is diamonds. So you bid 1 diamond, and then your partner bids 1 spade in response. Then if your second suit is clubs, then you could bid 2 clubs, because when you bid 1 diamond, have a mental barrier in your head of 2 of that suit. That is 2 diamonds. And if it's below the barrier, then you can bid that new suit. If your second suit was hearts, then I'm afraid you can't do that, and you would have to repeat your first suit. That's the other possibility. If you've got 15 to 22 points, then you do a similar thing. You bid your longest suit, but then the other possibility, which you prefer to do, is to bid your other suit, your other longest suit, next longest suit. And in this case, it can be above the barrier. In fact, you should contrive it so that your second bid is above your barrier, and that will tell your partner that you've got 15 to 22 points. That's pretty good. Or what you could do is repeat your suit, but you want to tell your partner it isn't 12 to 14 points, so you do that at a jump level. And if you've got 23 points or more, then you can open 2 clubs, the big one, and then your second bid will be your longest suit. Let's look at some examples. Now, I want to make sure that you can know how these principles work, and in particular, because you've only got 2 bids. You must look at your hand, and if you can be the opener, then decide there and then those 2 bids. Okay, we've got a big hand. We've got all 4 aces, that's 16 points, and 2 for the Queen of Diamonds. It's 18 high card points, but we haven't got any long suits, so that's what it is. It's 18. But if I remember, it's definitely a balanced hand, and for balanced hands of 18 to 19 points, what we do is we bid a suit, and then the next bid will be at a jump level. Okay, let's see the bidding. Oh, no, we shouldn't. Right, let's decide now what we're going to do. We should bid our longest suit, but it's going to be diamonds or it's going to be clubs. Which one should it be? Now, it could be either of those. And you may be tempted to say, well, if it could be either, then let's go for diamonds because they've got 6 points in there, the ace and the queen, whereas clubs has only got 4. I would actually advise you, in this case here, to bid the lower of those 2 suits, to bid clubs. There are a couple of advantages. One is you want to give your partner enough room to make a nice little bid which will allow you to make your second bid, which in our case we know is going to be no trumps at a jump level. All right. So I'm tempted to bid 1 club. Again, that gives my partner room, but it also sort of tells the opponents, oh, I've got a club suit, and they will be put off leading that suit because that does look a little bit weak. You've got the ace, but then not much after that. So I've got a plan. I'll bid clubs, and then I'll bid no trump at a jump level. There's the 1 club. My partner's responded 1 diamond. And I've jumped. I don't go 1 no trump. I've jumped to 2 no trumps. And my partner knows exactly what I've got. Well, not quite exactly, but pretty much so. I've got a balanced hand and I've got 18 to 19 points. What do we know about our partner's hand? They replied 1 diamond. Well, they've got 4 diamonds or more, and they've got 6 points or more because they responded, but that's about it. Crikey, they could have 4 or they could have 7 diamonds. They could have 6 points or they could have 16. We don't know. That's why the responder is in the position to be able to make the decision about the final contract, and we are not. So sit back now and let your partner decide. If you're interested, let's have a look at the decision of the responder. And the responder, gosh, decided that the best contract was 6 no trumps. Do you know why? Well, her hand had 15 points, and you've got at least 18, possibly even 19. So with those 33 points, then you've got enough to tackle 6 no trumps. So well done, responder, but you did your bit. How about this one? You've got 7, 8, 12 high card points and 2 extra for length. That is 14 high card points. Please don't be tempted to add points for the void that you've got. That void could be fantastic, or it could be rubbish. You don't know yet. All right, so what's our plan? Well, we've certainly got to open 1 heart because that's our longest suit. But what would our second bid be? I think if you can, always go for a new suit. That would be great if we could go one heart and then our next bid will be clubs. But there is a little bit of a danger that we might not be able to do that, because when you bid one heart, you have a barrier of 2 hearts. And if you bid above that barrier in your second bid, you're saying you've got 15 points or more, and we don't have that. All right, well, we've got a plan. We're going to bid hearts, and then we're going to bid clubs if we can. But if we can't, then we can repeat our first suit. What are we going to do? Yes, we're going to bid 1 heart. And then, not surprisingly, our partner has responded with 2 diamonds. Now you are the opener. Concentrate on your job of describing your hand. Subconsciously, I hope that you will sort of make a note of what your partner has said. They've gone 2 diamonds. So your partner's definitely got 4 diamonds or more. And because they've responded at the 2 level, they've got 10 points or more. But that could be a lot. It could be 10. It might even be 20. You don't know. And they've got 4 diamonds, but they might have 6. You don't know much about your partner's hand, but you don't need to. Your job is to describe your hand. Now, our plan was to bid, 2 clubs, but we can't do that because our partner's bid 2 diamonds. Can we go 3 clubs? No, you can't, because that would be passing through your barrier of 2 hearts. You opened 1 heart, the barrier is 2 hearts. So I'm afraid that's ruled out. It was a good plan, but it's not going to work. But we do have another option. We can then repeat our own suit and bid 2 hearts again. Okay, you've done your job. Now your partner knows that we have 12 to 14 points. He knows that we've got 5 hearts because we've repeated those hearts. That's important. 5 or more. And now they can make a good decision. Okay. Oh my goodness. Now let's see this. Your partner responded with 3 hearts. Now, they've made a decision. They think that 3 hearts is a good contract. But if you're playing duplicate, a 3 heart contract is pointless. Why go on from 2 hearts to 3 hearts? You're just making it more difficult for your partner to get the contract, but there's no reward. You'd get the same points for 3 hearts as you would for 2 hearts plus 1. So why have they gone 3 hearts? They've done that because they're giving you a choice of 2 possibilities. Only 2. Those 2 possibilities are, partner, you could either pass or you could go on to 4 hearts, the game contract. Please look at your hand another time and then decide if 4 hearts may be on. Have you got anything that you didn't add in before that now you could possibly make your hand better? And the answer is yes, indeed, we do. Your partner has eventually supported your hearts. Therefore, because they think you've got 5, they must have 3. Well, that's great. It means we've got a fit in hearts. And as soon as you've got a fit in any suit, then you can count points for voids, singletons, and doubletons. So in this case, we've got a void. And you can give yourself, depending on what you feel like, either 4 or 5 extra points. We didn't know we had that because we didn't know we had a fit. So we've got new information that allows us to go on to 4 hearts. So when your partner gives you that sort of decision, shall we pass or shall we move up into game? Then don't treat it lightly. Don't think, Well, how do I feel? This is not about how you feel. Most of the time you will pass it unless you can think of a good reason why your hand is better than you originally thought it was. And usually doing what we've just done now, adding extra points for a void or a singleton, that's the key. Another way of doing it is to use the losing trick count, and that may tell you that actually you've got a better hand than an ordinary 7 loser hand. How about this? We've got 12, 16 high card points, 2 extra for length. Wow, that's an 18-point hand. I know we've got a singleton there, but I can't count anything for it until I know we've got a fit in a suit. What's my plan? Well, the plan is to definitely open 1 spade, and then what will my second bid be? Well, I can't bid diamonds or hearts because I've only got 3 of them, so that's no good. So I have to bid spades again. But I want to tell my partner I've got 15 points or more, and the way I'll do that is by going in a jump bid to 3 spades. So here's my plan. I'm going to go 1 spade, then 3 spades. Let's execute the plan. We open 1 spade. Our partner responds with 1 no trump. Okay, if you want to, you can make note of that, but don't worry too much about it. 1 no trump means they hadn't got any other bid that they could make. It doesn't say they've got a no trump shaped hand, just says they've got 6 to 9 points, no more than that. If they had 10 points or more, they would have done everything in their power to bid at the 2 level. So they've got 6 to 9 points. And that's it. But now we're not finished, all right? They're keeping the bidding going. Well done, partner. But now we can execute our plan and we can bid 3 spades. Now they know that we've got 5 or more spades and 15 or more points. And then they can make the decision. Let's see what it was. Yep, they've gone 4 spades. And that's a great contract. Oh, these are good hands. Gosh, 12 for the aces, 3 for the king. Gosh, that's a big hand. That is 19 points and 1 extra for length. That's a 20-point hand. Wow. Okay. What shall we bid? Well, our opening bid has got to be our longest suit. We bid 1 heart. But what about the second bid? Spades. Okay, well, shall we go 1 heart and then 1 spade? No, that'll never happen, all right? Once you bid 1 heart, whatever your partner responds, then you won't be able to say 1 spade. But now we can bid 2 spades. If you open 1 heart, the barrier is 2 hearts. But we can go above that barrier because we've got a big hand here of 15 points or more. So our plan will be bid hearts and then bid spades, bidding above our barrier of 2 hearts. Here we go. We bid 1 heart. Our partner bids 2 clubs. Gosh, you might react to that. You know, you should be thinking about your bidding, but you go, crumbs, my partner's got 10 points or more. This could be good going. Let's see. But now you bid 2 spades. You've put across to your partner what sort of hand you've got. You've got 5 or more hearts, 4 or more spades, and you've got a hand which is 15 points or more. What's going to happen? Oh, now your partner had a big hand. They had 10 points or more, but they think now that a slam is on, and so they bid 4 no trumps. Okay, Blackwood system. Well, we'll tell them how many aces we've got. We've got 3. That's 5 spades. And not surprisingly, they've responded with 6 hearts. Good luck. Okay, I hope that's been useful. Thanks for listening.